Two East Division teams will rematch again tonight. The Wellington Dukes versus the Cobourg Cougars. 26 victories for the Dukes, 24 for Cobourg, and Wellington sitting 3 points up. Cobourg having about 5 games in hand, though, as they tried to overcome that 6-3 loss that was suffered in the game on Monday night in Cobourg, with the Cougars at home and finally getting a chance to visit Lehigh Arena this year for the first time. It's taken them until January 20th, but the Peter Drico's coach club is ready to go as they try and get back and change the ending of the last game against this Wellington Dukes club in a fight, an absolute dogfight for top 4 in the Southeast Conference. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brock Ormond for the OJHL tonight here on your TV Quinty. And it should be an outstanding hockey game as per usual between these two teams. And again, a little bit of a difference from the last time we saw Cobourg here at the Duke Dome. As you get a look at the standings there, Cobourg, as mentioned, sitting 3 points behind Wellington in a tie for 4th with the Trenton Golden Hawks, who took a 4-1 victory over the Aurora Tigers in the last game. Meeting against each other here at the Duke Dome for the first time since the Cougars defeated them in Game 1 of last year's Southeast Conference quarterfinal series. And again, it was a best of 3, so the series ended much quicker than many would have liked, and of course, much quicker than Wellington would have liked. Cobourg took the series in 2 quick games. There you get a look at Matt Sprocka, 12-6 at .251 goals against average, a save percentage of .925 in 19 games for the 20-year-old native of LaSalle, Ontario, up near Windsor. And Jacob Osborne down at the other end, he got the nod and was brilliant against Haliburton. 35 saves on 38 shots in that 4-3 victory I mentioned over the Huskies. A huge victory for Wellington to try and keep pace. And again, after those last 2 wins against Haliburton and Cobourg, all of a sudden, the Dukes have pulled to within 3 points of the Huskies for top spot in the East Division and second in the Southeast. Here you get a look at Peter Dricos. He is the head coach of the Cougars and trying to really guide this Cougars team to the promised land again. They went all the way to round 3 last year in the Southeast Conference, but dropped a tough 4-game series to the Toronto Junior Canadiens. It'll be Andy Reese starting out with Trevor Hoskin and George Gutierrez for the Cougars up against Corbin Roach, Barrett Joyne, and Matheson Mason. Trevor McDowell, Julian Jacob on the back end for the Dukes. Adam Barone, fresh off a silver medal at the World Junior A Challenge in Cornwall, and Owen Wilson on the blue line for the Cougars. Dukes are going to get it in deep right off the bat here as Matt Sprocka comes out of his net. Glances off of the leg of Joyne and out to center ice. McDowell. Snap pass hits Campbell in full flight. Campbell gets in from the left side looking to shoot it. Now passes, sends it right up front. Nifty backhand move and they score. How do you like that? Power play goal, 1-0. Dukes lead it. Dangalicious from Ryan Cutler as he undresses Matt Sprocka there on a centering pass by David Campbell. And when Campbell has a puck in a string like that, it's so hard to really knock it off him or beat him. It's just that difficult. You can see him using his reach to hold off. And again, Campbell's not the biggest guy or the tallest guy by any means. But when he makes the move like that, keeping the puck almost at arm's length from the Cobourg defenders, assistant captain for Peter Dricos' club, and was an absolute thorn in Wellington's side last season. Him and Mason Reeves going at it together was something to watch. 2 very physical guys. Here's Campbell now, drifting to his left. David Campbell holds on to it. Campbell cutting to the net in the back. He loses it. There's a chance in tight. They score. First goal is a Wellington Duke for Nolan Moser. And the Canada native hopping all over that loose puck that squirted off the stick of David Campbell. No doubt about it. And for Moser, his first as a Duke, coming over from the Nepean Raiders of the CCHL. And Sprocka maybe overcommitted to Campbell a little bit too soon. Moser takes advantage of that as he comes right to the net with him. And on that drive, he comes through with the goal. 2-0, Wellington leading it, and a fast start for the in. It's going to be flung out the left side. Julian Jacob will take over again. 30 seconds left, and the offsetting minors to Mason and Mercer. Shot coming high, scores! Jacob Brutenhill with a rocket over top of the right shoulder of Matthew Sprocka. 3-0, Dukes lead it. And Brutenhill just leaned back and launched that one. Short side too, and Sprocka couldn't react to it in quick enough time for the Belleville boy. That's his 21st of the year. And that's just a picture-perfect shot, too. Couldn't have asked for a much better place to put that. You can tell Virginhill has really worked on that weapon of a shot in practice. He launches it over top of the right shoulder. And again, Derek Smith just has nothing but praise for this young man and how he's really come into his own, not just on the ice, but off the ice with his leadership. And the Cougars now will range through center ice. Mercer streaking in, driving towards the net. Osborne has made a great save. Second stop there by Osborne. And they scramble around and the puck's in the net. Jacob Gilbert, I believe, knocked it in front. Osborne had that one bobbling all over the place, and somehow the Cougars found a way to stick it home. And it will be Jacob Gilbert, but Mercer was the one that pretty much started it all. He drove full tilt to the net, got into the backhand, converted to the forehand, put a good shot rate on. Osborne makes the initial save, and then you can see the puck just bobbling out in front. It wasn't knocked down by a high stick, so it's good. It was up in the air, and there you see Hunt trying to take a swing at it. Not an ideal time to have him out of the lineup here as this puck comes free. The Cougars will chip it around down the dasher. It rides past Jacob, and that's it for period number one. Pretty successful one for the Wellington Dukes. They score 3 unanswered goals for Connor Hunt. Hunt missed on one chance earlier in this period. He'll drop it off to Moskowitz looking for another. Moskowitz moves in with a shot, and that actually hit Hunt, who was trying to cross over before Moskowitz let the shot fly. Ends up taking it off the right ankle. Hoskin then gets heavily dropped to the ice by Moskowitz. And Hoskin is actually shaken up a bit as he's got his head down going to the bench. Here comes Lapalm back the other way. He fires right on and scores! Luke Lapalm, 22 on the year, and a wrister, hard low blocker on Sprocka does the deed. 4-1, Dukes lead it. They're back up by 3. Luke Lapalm ended up getting the puck out of nowhere, comes cruising in down the right side and had his target set. And he hits it near perfect, right in that far corner pockets. And for Luke Lapalm, he continues to make life difficult on opposing teams' D and goaltenders, adding on to his career high in goals since his U15 days, but 22 on the year. And we'll get the full scoring play on it momentarily. Solomon back after it again. Thompson through a hit. Dietz will fleck it up ahead. Cutler jams it on forward. Here comes Lapalm and Strickland 2-on-1. Lapalm getting in, trying to feed across to Strickland, but a stick gets in the way last second in the back check. Strickland was very dangerously lurking there on the other side and looking to make it a 5-1 score for the Dukes. And for Peter Dricos' club, they can't afford any more goals allowed because it hurt them big time early in the third period, especially last game when the score was still manageable, 4-2, and then Wellington came back with one shorthanded and another unassisted effort by Smith. Puck turned over behind the net. Strickland right there in front scores! Luke Strickland, first goal as a Duke. And it comes off a ghastly turnover by Matt Sprocka behind the net. 5-1 Dukes lead. And it's Ryan Cutler in the mix again. Strickland just standing right in front, looking for an opening, and he gets it. Got a big 1,000-megawatt grin on his face, but that is some miscommunication behind the net by the Cougars, and Matt Sprocka is going to be yanked in favor of the man who started on Monday night, Ryan Pirous from Harlan, Michigan. 5 goals on 24 shots allowed, and Sprocka's gone straight to the dressing room. We can see right from the broadcast spot here in the booth in Wellington, right down to the dressing room, and he's upset, and I don't blame him. Needs some time to decompress. 9 shots now on the game for the Dukes, and they're giving Cobourg all they can handle. And again, the next time these two teams will meet will be the last time this regular season, February 17th. Barrett Joy ends up getting it back again, and the Dukes will clear regardless, but it's going to elude the reach of Ryan Smith, who beats out Owen Wilson for the icing. Turning back, centering pass out front. Langdon whiffs on it, and it goes in. Off a skate in front, a little squibbler, but it counts. 6-1 Dukes lead it now. And that goal right there epitomizes the kind of night the Cobourg Cougars have had. Just bouncing pucks going all over the place, squirting between legs, and just nothing seems to be going their way. But everything's coming up Wellington Dukes. There's the shot. Langdon whiffed on it, in fact. Ryan Smith centered it. Langdon had it go off the heel of his stick. And he kind of played a little pinball there with Adam Barone. Hurry it here, but he's not going to have much time. He'll just poke it past to Strickland, and that'll be it. But another strong period for the Wellington Dukes. They add 3 more goals to their line, and they enjoy a 6-1 advantage over the Cobourg Cougars after 40 minutes and 5 points in as many games. There's a shot off the draw, and the Cougars will score. 6-2 now the score with 6:35 gone in this third period. Jacob Morier looks like he's going to get credit for the goal. We'll get a second look at it here. Happened so fast right off the draw. But there's something for the Cougars to build off of here maybe. There's a slinger right off the draw, and Osborne was just stunned on that one. Way too late to react. Go off the back of his leg. Taylor trying to bump Strickland off, but he loses it. Here's Strickland dropping it back for a chance. Cutler scores. Ryan Cutler again. Second of the night. And Luke Strickland is going to get the primary assist on it after fighting off Joel Taylor, just shredded him to the ice and then worked himself to the slot, and with his clear vision finds Cutler coming back, and you can see just the amount of skill that Strickland has. He faked like he was going to go all the way around and then decided to make that nifty little drop pass, just not even hard enough to be a tap towards the net, and he flicked it back, had just enough momentum to get it to Cutler, who slams it into the open side before Piros could get across. 7-2, Dukes lead it. The advantage is back up by 5. There's another one. Julian Jacob along the ice. I'm not sure if that was tipped in front. Jacob is pointing to himself. It looks like it's going to be his goal. And you can make it an 8-2 score now with 7:21 left. And they're not going to do the flyby on the bench, but it looks like Jacob is going to get credit for the goal. 2 more quick ones for the Dukes. As you can see, LaPalme put his stick down. Maybe we'll see if we can get a second look. Yeah, tough to tell from that angle as well. But Julian Jacob put a nice low shot right along the ice. Dukes will just round out the rest of the clock here with 5 seconds left. McCauley and McTowell just play with it. And the Wellington Dukes are going to soar to a 9-2 victory as they pound the Cobourg Cougars. 3 goals in each period. Ryan Cutler with a pair. Moser, Vrutenhill, LaPalme, Strickland, Langdon, Jacob, and McCauley each with singles. First star Luke LaPalme, who chips in with 3 points. Cutler with 5, and Julian Jacob with 3 as well.